What's up, everybody? Today's video is sponsored by Specialty Seats Ltd, and I'm here with Bodan from Specialty Seats Ltd to talk to you about his business.
My business is doing upholstery. We make a lot of seat covers for tall back Allisons, and as you can see behind us, the original low back Allison. I've been following Eric's Code Red series, and I wanted to set him up with a seat cover because he needed one. So this is going to be for your boat here, but figure while you're here, we'll show you a few different options we make. The three on the right are for the low back Allison, the original design. They'll also fit the triad copy of that seat. This one on the end is going to be another design for the high back. It's the high back Allison, but stretched out to 38 inches wide, so makes for an economical bolt-in package for the rear seat. A good fit for, you got a hydro stream, you want a ski boat, and your wood seats are inevitably going to be rotted. You can just bolt one of these guys in, drop a cover on, and you're ready to go. Covers are mostly made to order because of the colors, and match anything you want. So we'll show you how the covers are made. It's all marine grade vinyl. That can sit out in the sun all year. It's not going to cause you a problem. Every panel in the seat is laminated to 1/4 inch scrim foam, and that gives you this really rigid shape. So even when it's not on the seat shell, it holds its shape and makes it pretty nice. The seat covers ship with an inch of rebond foam for the bottom. Nobody wants to feel a lag bolt on their tailbone. So our website is www.specialtyseats.ca, and for a month after Eric posts this video, you're going to have a coupon code Gordon412, and you'll take 15% off all the Allison seat covers. So it's going to be the original ones, the high back bench seats, and yeah.
Awesome, man. Thanks for sponsoring today's video.
Likewise.
This is Code Red, a 13-foot Delta which has been given new life by a family of lunatics who do this type of thing for fun. And I'm one of those lunatics. And the time is finally here. We've seen this boat come from an ant-infested mess into what it is now. The design of the Delta is just so simple, and because of that, it's almost timeless. But with the kind of camo wrap, it looks a little more modern, and I think it looks pretty good. It's unique, at least. But that's enough just standing around. Let's see what this thing can do. Top speed, 65 miles an hour, which is slower than some may have thought. The power comes from 49 cubic inch OMC, 70 horsepower, short shaft, but it doesn't have the nitro case like the boats that we race with. This has the big gear case with the 2.44 gear ratio, and it has a Yamaha power trim. The larger lower unit gives you tons of lift in the nose. That's great when you're learning how to drive one of these boats because it'll start to act up at a lower speed. There is another benefit though. All that extra lift means that it's an absolute riot to drive. GW Invader were building boats to utilize the power of the 49 cubic inch OMC. You see, in 1969, Allison came out with the 13R, and the 13R utilized what we call an 8-inch pad. So this pad here, 8 inches wide. However, in 1970, Allison changed the design of their 13R to have a 6-inch pad. And that is where a man named Bob comes in. Bob Sanders was a competitor against Allison boats, driving mostly GW Invaders. And he noticed that the older 1969 Allison seemed to handle better than the newer 6-inch pad variant. So after a few years of being beaten by those pesky Allisons, Bob decided that if you can't join them, you might as well copy them. However, the boat that Bob copied was the 8-inch pad version of the 13R, one that Allison thought was inferior to their 6-inch design. A simplified deck and removal of some of the trademark Allison styling cues, and bam! In 1972, the Delta was born. It was immediately competitive, and when the smaller nitro lower unit became available in 1974, the Delta dominated. The Delta was the boat through the rest of the 1970s and into the 1980s, and it was copied a ridiculous amount of times, especially in Ontario. The Delta has always been about cheap fun, and this boat, it encapsulates that perfectly. It's cheap to fix, cheap to run, and it's an absolute blast to fly this thing across the lake. It wasn't until 1987 that the 13-foot Critchfield finally dethroned the Delta in Canadian EP racing, but even today, 53 years later, the Delta lives on. Guys, we gotta talk about Mellow Yellow. So I made a mistake when I did this boat, and I only did 2 knees that were on the very outside of the transom, and I underestimated how much Kuza board flexes. So right away, as soon as I started driving it, I noticed that I was getting a lot of flex in the transom, and all of these ugly repairs that were here previously, they just immediately started to crack just outside of where my glass went to. So I knew I rushed this, I knew I did it quick, but because of that, I've made the decision that I'm not going to be racing Mellow Yellow in Gravenhurst in the next race. But, you know, it's okay, because I got a pretty good backup boat. Oh yeah. The champ returns.